We did it.
We did it.
Blake Foote.
How we doing?
Good. Is that how you say your last name, Foote?
It is Foote, yeah.
Nice.
Old English.
Old English.
Yeah, but yeah, footy I get commonly.
Yeah.
Especially in middle school.
Yeah, footy, that E throws you off. But
yeah, Bigfoot.
yeah. So you like your family Old English? They come from the...
Oh, I'd have ages and ages ago.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No, mostly. Yeah, British.
But, like, do you know when they came over to New Zealand?
No idea.
No?
Yeah, before my grandfather, so.
Oh, cool. Cool. I think mine's McLaughlin, so it's Irish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we came over around, I think it was like 1880.
Oh, wow.
But my mom's Brazilian, so she came here like 90s.
Gotcha. We're all mixes, aren't we, these days? Yeah.
It is cool, though.
100%.
So when'd you move to the States?
So I moved to the US in 2018, late 2018, kind of like properly set up in 2019.
Cool.
Yeah, moved to Florida first. I was on kind of like the panhandle of Florida, close to like Fort Walton Beach.
Okay, nice. And then why'd you come here?
So I actually moved to, I was in, do you mean to the US or do you mean to Austin?
Austin, yeah.
I met a girl.
Oh, okay. Classic.
No, yeah, we moved to San Antonio, so we had like slowed down on the flipping in Florida because the hurricane damaged houses. There was just less of them, and we wanted to move. We chose San Antonio. Went there for like a year and a half. Pretty quickly realized that actually not my spot. Made some good friends. Met a girl in Austin. I was like, well, that's a place to be. So
yeah, Austin's the move, man. San Antonio is great, but I just feel like there's nothing really to do there.
It's pretty family.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's like very working class family. It's great. It's a nice city, relatively clean for the most part, but it's just like for young people.
Yeah,
probably not the spot.
Yeah.
I
mean, after the Riverwalk, I can't think of anything. Oh, the Alamo. I can't think of anything else that you would do.
Don't forget the Alamo.
Yeah, never forget.
Never forget it.
That's the 9/11 of the 1800s. You never forget.
Yeah,
that's funny. So you've been flipping homes since you were 21.
Yes. Yeah, basically moved over to the States and then just kind of started flipping homes and doing it ever since. You kind of get a little bit addicted to it.
How messy was the first one? Was it pretty clean or did it go well?
So I was in the very fortunate situation that my sister and her husband had, well, not husband at the time, but now husband, had flipped 2 homes before.
Yeah.
And they brought me in on my first one.
Oh, so you had a guardrail.
So we had I had some guardrails.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate.
That's good.
But it was still very messy.
What were some problems you ran into?
Oh, there was a dead cat in the shed. Was one of them. No, I think with your first one, you always kind of like overthink it maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I did work that probably didn't need to be done. Like I ripped up the entire front yard because it was like a little bit patchy grass, and I ripped it all up and I reseeded it.
You would have done that if you had to do it again?
I would not do that.
Yeah.
Again. No. So yeah, learning curves. The house was, I wouldn't call it a hoarder house, but it was like someone had lived there for a very long time.
Right.
They didn't move their stuff out because we bought it off market, and it was just like packed of crap and stunk. So yeah, but no, I mean honestly, as far as first flips go, pretty good.
Yeah.
Most people lose money on their first ones.
Yeah. So you made money. Well, it sounds like like I said, you had some people that knew what they were doing that were in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't lost money yet. So that's good.
That is good. That's a great track record.
That's a good track record.
How many do you think you've done?
I was meant to count the other day. In the 18 to 20 range now.
Nice.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Do you help? Is most of your clients like people trying to do the same thing, or is it usually different?
No, I mean I'm currently tracking clients that want to like renovate houses. So like not flip it, but like for their own personal needs.
Right.
They seem to be like gravitating towards me because I have that background,
Right.
which is fantastic, and I love helping them with it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of flipper clients, but yeah.
That's cool. Dang, so the dead cat. Why was that the first thing that came to your mind? A dead cat?
Well, because
Must have been pretty bad.
Because we had a running joke about it. We had a running joke. There was this shed in the back, and it was decrepit, and it was termite damaged, and it was falling over. And I have a video on my phone of us actually pulling the shed down because we attached ropes to it and we were dragging it down. I think it was actually the day before Thanksgiving. And Sam hates cockroaches, and there were massive fat German cockroaches, and they were just swarming in there. And then we moved a bunch of plywood, and there was just a dead cat there.
Oof.
And
They were feasting.
yeah, and it was just it just kind of summed up, the project a little bit of you deal with some stuff,
But I guess the hardest thing about a dead cat is finding it. But once you find it, I mean, it's a pretty easy cleanup.
Oh yeah, and it was well dead. Now it was basically mummified. So.
Oh wow. Shit.
But anyway, it's just one of those things that from never owning a house before to doing this, it was just a shock to the system a little bit. It was fun.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And you just kept at it. You just kept on at it. What would do you have a playbook of if someone was going to do this?
Flip houses?
Yeah, their first time. It can't be as simple as look for a dead cat and don't reseed the grass. You know what I mean?
Well, no. Yeah, I mean, I guess I do that you kind of, you have to make the deal too. It's no one's just going to sell you a great deal, because if someone's going to sell you a great deal, they would have done it. So you need to know information that someone else doesn't, or be able to do something with the house that no one else can. And that's how we make deals happen now.
Are you doing the latter or the former?
Oh, a bit of both. Of both. I mean, the most money that we've ever made on flips has been when the person selling us the house vastly underestimated what we could do with it. And so, we bought it where they were like, oh, ARV is 600. And then we sell it for a lot more than that. And,
so it's a bit of laziness on their end too.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just some people just don't know what can be done.
I was talking not yesterday, it was 3 days ago with a buddy, and he was talking about people that do wholesalers.
Mm-hmm. I deal with them a lot.
Yeah. I have a buddy that does it, and I was kind of ragging on him. I was like, that's the lowest form of real estate. You know what I mean?
Yes, there are wholesalers that do not operate with good intentions, and they don't hold themselves to a high standard. However, the business model itself is necessary for the market, because there are houses that I have walked through that a normal person wouldn't even step within 15 feet of the front door.
Yeah.
And someone needs to go walk that house, and someone needs to figure out a value for that house, and someone needs to delegate that house.
Right.
And, most of those are they're not fit for the current market.
Right.
No consumer's ever going to buy it.
Yeah.
And most real estate agents wouldn't touch it. So someone has to come in there.
There's got to be some sleazy.
There has to be a middleman. Well, and I would say that wholesaling was sold online as a get rich quick scheme.
Oh, for sure.
And it attracts the dude bros
For sure.
that didn't fucking want to get a college degree.
Because you can make some crazy good money doing that too.
You can absolutely. And at the end of the day, they're adding value to the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Sometimes they try and take way too much value.
Right.
And sometimes they screw families, and I don't like that.
And
I don't like it.
That's the bad thing.
And there are times that I have gotten to the closing table buying from a wholesaler and seeing what they paid the family and being like, oh, I don't feel good about this now. I don't feel good about this, because I'm like, wow, you guys just got screwed. But I don't know. And I don't know what he's, I've had times where wholesalers have sold us deals at a loss. And I've had times where wholesalers have made 40, 50 grand, and realistically, 40 of that 1,000 should have gone to the family and sold it at a high price.
Right.
But it's one of those things that
it still makes you feel gross.
It makes you feel gross. No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. I've always realtors get that kind of rap too.
Massively.
Realtors get a lot of that. But I think with the wholesale guys, it's to the nth degree. Like the level of screw over is at a different level.
It
You
can
know
be.
what I mean?
It can be. And at the end of the day, here's the thing: is that realtors have a fiduciary to the client.
Right.
Wholesalers don't. Wholesaler is just a dude off the street.
Yeah, that's a good
He
point.
doesn't have a license. Some of them do, but most of them don't have a license. And it's really just like they'll just negotiate whatever. And the general consumer has very limited knowledge about what their assets are worth.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not in saleable condition,
Yeah.
which most of them aren't.
It's funny too, the dude bro thing you brought up. There is a lot of that. I wonder why that culture gets attracted to that. And I think it is because of the mass sums of money you can make for just the screw over factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like appealing to that dude bro.
Well, it is. I mean, get rich quick. It's one
Yeah.
of those things that sells really well on social media. Like, buy my course for a wholesaler. Look at this $30,000 check that I made.
Yeah. It looks good.
That looks great.
That looks good on face value.
On face value,
Yeah.
it looks great. And it's like, you don't need a license. You don't need any education. Just buy my course, make some cold calls, and you can make $30,000 too. That's an appealing pitch.
That is appealing.
That's an appealing pitch.
It's appealing,
And-
especially like you said, for someone that's like, you know, no graduation, like no college degree. They're just kind of
Right.
doing nothing. That
Yeah.
looks pretty fucking good.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And so it attracts that. And some of them stick. Most of them fall off.
Yeah.
Most wholesalers, I bet, probably do like 150 cold calls and realize it's really fucking difficult and just die. Not die, but, you know, like drop off. And then a couple
And then
of
they
them...
die.
But and I will say is that wholesaling is one of the rawest forms of sales. It's like you literally walk into someone's living room, you walk around their house, and right then and there you say to their face,
Value. Yeah.
your house is worth $300,000 less than this estimate.
That's got to be pretty exciting.
Dude, it's
That's got to be pretty exciting.
you know what? It's it's ballsy as hell, and most people tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And a very small percentage say, "Oh, okay, sure."
Yeah, yeah.
And those ones are the ones that we get.
That is pretty wild. I did a lot of phone sales when I first got into like the corporate world. Mm-hmm. And basically we were calling, like my job, I worked at realtor.com.
Oh, right.
And we would call mortgage people and be like, we're selling leads.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the price. Do you want it?
Yeah.
And that felt pretty raw. But like face to face,
You literally like sitting in someone's living room and you sit them
and
down.
you're like in their
living
the
room.
place that they're trying to, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, here's
Yeah.
something that you hold dear to you, and I'm going to tell you it's worth dick.
But the other thing is that for a lot of these people, and I've seen it firsthand, these houses are liabilities to them.
Yeah.
They are getting dragged down by property
That's
taxes.
true.
by-
That's true.
Like the house has foundation issues and they could never fix it.
Or they've inherited it.
Or they've inherited it
Yeah,
and
that's
they
a
don't
big one.
care. They just need quick cash, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
And in those cases, as I say, like wholesalers are not scum of the earth. They're providing
There's a place.
they're providing a service and a
For sure.
value. And as a flipper, I don't have time to chase all of those people. Or you know, like it's just it's too much work. So it is important that someone does that.
Yeah.
However, caveat, you need to hold yourselves to a high standard.
Yeah.
And, you know, treat people with respect and treat their asset with respect as well.
But I think it's just like realtors, because, you know, with realtors, it's the same thing. Like I just said this, but with it's all about like getting an experienced person. Because if you get someone that doesn't really know what they're doing, and then you don't know what you're doing, that's just a recipe for
Well, yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
just like
shit.
two blind mice walking around bumping into each other.
And that happens with like buyers all the time, where they're like, oh, I got a real estate agent who doesn't really know what he's doing. I don't really know what I'm doing. And
Absolutely.
that ends up just being the worst deals.
And here's the funny thing, and I don't wish to blame consumers, but at the end of the day,
It's their fault.
No.
Dude, but it is. I mean, like,
But at the end of the day, you are not paying the bill. If you're hiring a buyer's agent, you're not paying the bill.
Yeah.
the seller's paying the bill. So if it's not costing you anything, why would you not go out and pick the absolute best person?
Right.
Why would you not interview 5 of them and figure out who actually melds with you? And but the thing is that consumers, they just pick, their aunt's friend
That's the big thing.
who they met at a dinner, and she's like, yeah.
Well, because then it's the whole thing of like interpersonal relationships where it's like, well, I can't be ugly and not use my brother who's just at a rehab who has his real estate license. You know what I mean?
No,
that
exactly.
would look bad.
Exactly.
You know?
And at the end of the day, it's the largest financial decision that most people will make in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Pick a professional, vet them, read their reviews, meet them in person first before you sign a contract. Meet several of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Same
like
thing.
it's going to be the difference of tens of thousands of dollars and weeks, months of your time.
Yeah.
Why would you pick Sally, your mom's friend, over a true professional?
But people still are going to do it. I mean, at the
will.
end of the day, it's a
People
vicious
will.
cycle that will go on forever. Have you seen any difference with like negotiation or how you operate now with the NAR settlement and like how you have to do contracts and stuff?
Not major, honestly. A couple of deals have been 2.5% rather than 3%. A couple of them, weren't offering anything, and I just put in 3%.
Yeah.
And they just agreed to it.
Uh huh.
So currently, not a huge amount. Caveat to that is, I can see if we went back to a very, very hot market. I'm not saying that we are going to go back to a hot market, but if we went back to an extremely hot market like 2021, I could see buyer's agent commissions being one of the first things to like reduce. Because if you're staring down the barrel of having 5 offers, multi-offer situation, and one agent said, yeah, I'll take 2%, or hey, yeah, I'll take 1.5%, or hey, I'll take 1%. It's a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
In that sort of scenario.
We might be going back too. Have you seen the news this week, or at least with the stock market, like how it tanked?
Oh, we had a massive tank.
Oh man,
It's been
stock
great.
market
It's been great.
completely tanked, and the mortgage rates have gone down like a pretty good chunk.
What are we down? 0.015?
Where the average I think right now is 6.5,
Okay.
but I mean it was floating at like 6.8, 6.7 for like
Yeah.
a while. So it's going down, and then now he's getting Jerome Powell to be like, hey, now we really need to have a serious talk about you
Right.
dropping rates because I just destroyed the stock market. So
Out of the
save
deal,
us.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And we may be. And we've already seen some change. Like this spring market's been a really strong bounce back in Austin.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of clients who've been beat out on multiple offers. I had a house that went over $80,000 over ask for no good reason.
That's crazy.
Like probably $40,000
That's
over
wild.
true value, and unexpected. Honestly, they said they had like 10 to 13 offers or something. It was nuts.
That's pretty impressive.
I'm not going to say that's every house, but
Yeah.
it's
Where
definitely
was it?
happening. Up north, Balcony Oaks, and it was beautiful ranch style home, like 2,000 square feet. Lovely home. Needed good renovation though. Needed probably like $80,000 to $120,000 renovation.
over? That's
It
insane.
was nuts.
That is
It was nuts. There was no good reason. I told my
Yeah.
client, I was like, this house is maybe worth $630.
They were like
Went for like
80K over.
No, and it went for $685. And
Was there even a counteroffer? Was there like another person that was trying to get it?
well, it was just a multi-offer situation. They just
Okay,
had a
so it was
deadline.
multi,
And
okay.
and we were in there at like $620 or something, which was still $15,000 over asked. They asked
Yeah.
$595.
Yeah.
Which agent got them to write a $685 offer? No idea, but whatever.
That's nuts.
That's stupid.
Yeah. So you got an open house after this. What do you do for fun?
I mean, is working fun? No, I mean, me and my fiance, we travel a lot. We do probably like 1 to 2 international trips a year.
Oh, nice.
So, like last year was Italy. The year before that was Bali.
Bali.
Did a Spain trip. So we
Spain.
love some trips. Love
Yeah.
live music, obviously in Austin. We go to quite a few shows. Actually, Concourse Project's just around the corner here.
Yeah. Were
And,
you there the other night? They had a big one going the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy was there.
Probably.
Was it the Ajuna show?
It was not the Ajuno show, but I had some friends that went there. What did I go to the other night? I don't know. We go there pretty often.
Yeah, that
We're
one's
in and out.
It's pretty cool that it's this close to my home because it's actually they did a massive concert over there. I think it was about 3 weeks ago, and the music was so damn loud. Like even here, I could walk out my backyard and I could hear the exact song, like what it was. I could hear the vocals. I was like, this is bananas.
Yeah.
And I was kind of down with it, but I knew I was like, the Facebook page on the community is going to be
someone's going
nuts.
to complain. Yeah. Sally Lou down the road.
Yeah, but Concourse is a sweet spot, actually.
It's not. It's a good sit-up, and like...
It's like nationally ranked now.
It is.
Yeah.
We laugh about that. We joke. Because it's like... I don't know what the actual number is. Someone's going to correct me, but it's like... It was like 8th
Yeah.
in the US. And like, it's literally a warehouse. It's just a warehouse out in the middle of nowhere with some bars. Like, it now has like some better visuals and stuff, but like realistically, not a lot to it.
Right.
It's pretty simple.
It's just out in the field. Yeah.
However, it's fantastic. They always have good music. They have good sound systems. They now have good visuals, and the crowd's good. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's not like going to a bar downtown where everyone's like stickly and no one wants to dance. Like, everyone's
out there
everyone's having a good time,
ready to tear it up for sure. Yeah. Every time I've been there, I've always had a pretty solid time. I've never had any complaints.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I think it's because it's isolated. You can kind of get away with a lot more too out there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It'd be a mess if that was like downtown.
Yeah, there was no way. There's no way.
But if it's just just a random spot way out here, it's easy.
I was at Kingdom the other night. That's how I got flu.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I got flu. I remember I had to cancel because I had flu. I went to Kingdom, and a buddy of mine, he's a DJ. He was like, "Yeah, come on out. Like, you got to stay out." And I had already been drinking since like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
but I had enough in me that I was like, "Let's keep going."
Let's rip.
And then I went out, and there was like a doctor. They were hosting a rave for doctors.
Oh, okay.
And all the doctors were dressed up like cowboys.
Okay.
So all I had to do was get a cowboy hat, and they were giving me free drinks. I could get into VIP. I was doing everything I wanted.
Okay, sweet.
So then I ended up staying way too late and drinking way too much. But then that's how I got flu, which was not great. But it's a fun time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Kingdom's nice.
Yeah.
Good.
It's always a good time. But I try not to go to too many of those shows. You know?
It's taking it out of me these days.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 28.
You're 28? Damn, dude, I'm 31.
27. I turn 28 soon. I'm 27.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. It's hitting me.
Yeah. But I think around 28 is when you start to feel it. Like, you're like, damn, dude, I can't keep doing this.
God. Yeah, like the 3 a.m. night's a killer.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are wild.
Yeah. No, my bedtime's like 9:30.
Damn, are you one of those? Have you seen those Ashton Hall videos? That guy waking up at...
Yeah, well, I get up at 5:30, so like I'm just...
Oh, you're one of those.
I go to the gym.
You're pretty fit.
Go crush it, yeah.
Yeah. So, you go to the gym. When do you go to the gym?
5:30.
Oh, my God. You are an Ashton Hall.
Yeah. No, I'm not dumping my face in lemon water.
Do you have an ice bath? Do you do the ice bath?
No, I don't do the motherfucking ice bath. I don't even do a sauna.
Oh, you don't?
I'm just old school.
Saunas are nice, though.
Saunas are lovely.
I can get behind a sauna.
No, absolutely. It's just I never have time to like do it. My gym has a nice sauna. It's just I don't.
Which one do you go to?
I go to On It.
On It. Never heard of it. But yeah,
it's, Joe Rogan's outfit.
Oh, really?
He doesn't own it anymore, but I think he started it.
Where is it? Is it nearby?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like probably 10 minutes from here.
Just On It Gym?
Yeah, it's ONNIT.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
It's nice. It's stupidly expensive.
Oh, is it really? Fuck. What do you pay?
It's like $200 a month or something. I don't know.
Oh, damn. But you're waking up at 5:30 to go.
Well,
so, I mean,
yeah.
it's important to you.
I live just south of here. And so it's the closest like decent gym.
That's cool.
Yeah. But it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
You have a trainer? Do you do like
No, I just go rip myself.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I have a whole training regime thing, but
yeah, I used to go to the gym with a trainer when I was in high school because I was really thin.
Mm-hmm. No, that was me too. I'm a beanstalk.
Yeah. What do you eat? What's your eating routine?
I'm not like super. I should be way better.
Yeah,
but I'm not like super anal about it.
Yeah?
I just kind of like try and consume like 2,800 to 3,200 calories a day. And
Okay, but you have like a
Call it.
you kind of know where you need to be.
yeah, but it's intuitive. Like I don't
for sure.
weigh anything anymore. I did
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like maybe 2 weeks and then gave up.
Yeah.
I'd probably be a hell of a lot bigger if I did.
Yeah. I try to eat like I mostly do like rice and then some kind of protein.
Oh, yeah,
And then I
yeah.
keep fruits around.
Yeah.
But
That's what we do. Salmon, chicken, rice bowls.
salmon's a big one, man.
Salmon's
Oh,
incredibly like it's fantastic.
yeah.
Tastes good.
Yeah, salmon
protein.
is crazy good.
Good fats.
I do it in poke bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh.
You grill them?
Yeah, no, I'd bake it.
Oh, you bake it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, dude. I'm always curious about how people eat. That's a big one for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's like the baseline of like
Being a good person.
nutrition too. Well, it's you can tell a lot about someone how they eat.
Yeah.
You can tell a lot about their income, a lot about how much they care about themselves. Like a lot of it's defined by food. So.
You go to HEB?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not stuck up.
Yeah.
I'm not-
Go to Whole Foods?
I'd have to drive like 35 minutes to go to Whole Foods.
Yeah, I know.
I'd have to be a real stickly prick for that.
But every time I go into Whole Foods, I'm like, fuck, these people are eating so good.
I know. Every time I see one of those like apple pyramids where they're like perfectly stacked, I'm like, oh,
I'm like, these
shit.
bastards.
Some people are living way better than I am.
They're stacking their fruit? That's crazy.
But HEB's coming from both a New Zealand perspective, but also from like an out of Texas perspective.
Yeah.
HEB is amazing.
Oh, for sure. So even in New Zealand, you guys would consider HEB to be like top tier.
Oh, 100%, because it's just massive. It's massive. And also, the other thing that really interests me when I got here,
Yeah.
HEB, at least in this part of Central Texas, is a monopoly. Like, think about how many other grocery stores you see.
Yeah,
It's
you
a monopoly.
don't.
There's no reason for them to be as good as they are, other than the fact that they're just a really well-run company.
Yeah. And they have the people's respect.
They do. And actually,
Yeah.
every single person I've ever talked to that worked at HEB has been like, fantastic place to work,
Oh,
great
yeah.
opportunities, was treated well, was paid properly.
I got two friends that work at HEB, and they're like, man, it's a lifetime company. Like you're there forever.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I've heard, is that they'll push you up the ranks, which
Yeah.
is what you want, because no one does that anymore.
Yeah, there are a couple Randalls in town, but,
Yeah, but
when you're in there, you're like, man, this ain't no HEB.
this
Though.
ain't no HEB. Yeah. And yeah, there's nothing like
What about Florida? What'd they have out there?
Publix? Publix is pretty good.
Publix?
Publix is fine.
Yeah.
But it ain't no HEB.
Yeah, I didn't know HEB.
Yeah.
And then New Zealand, we always think like Americans eat like shit. So I would assume that New Zealand's got a pretty good. I think it'd be tough to get like good food out there though, because it's an island, right?
I mean, a lot of stuff's imported, yeah, 100%.
Right.
But we're a farming nation at heart, so we have really fantastic meat, and really good veggies and stuff. So yeah, but we import a lot.
Yeah. What's the big veggie that you guys like grow? Like what kind of?
I think we're potato and like root vegetable based. Kumara is like a sweet potato.
Kumara.
Kumara.
I'm gonna look that up.
It's basically a sweet potato. It's Kumra. Kumara?
This here, like that?
No, with a K.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
Kumra.
Kumara vegetable. Yeah. That is,
Oh, what?
that is not a kumara.
Oh.
Go. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
there you go.
Oh, it looks like a sweet potato.
It's
yeah.
a sweet. It is a sweet potato. It's
Yeah.
it's just a different. It's the moldy name for a sweet potato.
I've heard sweet potatoes, so it's a new world food, and
What does that mean?
it means like it started in the Americas, like it was
Oh,
it was
okay.
native to the Americas.
Oh, gotcha.
And what's interesting is that a lot of cultures, like in Africa, they're like the foundation and cornerstone of some of their meals is sweet potatoes, which is kind of interesting because you would assume that New World food wouldn't be like an African staple,
Sure.
but it is. And another one's tomato. Tomato is a New World food,
Oh, interesting.
and so like the Italians, like they took that from us too.
Yeah, they nicked that.
Yeah, yeah.
Made it their own.
Made it their own.
Rebranded it. Much
Exactly.
better.
People say that they did that with pasta too, but that's actually not true. They've always had pasta, apparently.
But they didn't at one point.
Someone
made it.
There was a point where they did.
God-given pasta.
Well, people are always like, "Oh, they stole it from the Chinese," and it's like,
oh, really?
well, that's what
I don't know.
there's a myth that they were like, "Oh, they went to China and then they saw them eating noodles." And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna rebrand this as pasta."
Oh,
You know what I mean?
very different though, aren't they? I mean, China has rice noodles
True.
predominantly, and then I guess they do have wheat noodles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose. Soba.
That is little history fact. Did you go to college?
I did.
What'd you go to college for?
Marketing and business.
Yeah.
I got a business degree, majored in marketing. Haven't used it very much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure that it comes in handy somewhat. Like,
It
you
does.
must kind of understand certain things.
It does more now when I was flipping houses because I graduated university. I was working in marketing for Toyota. Moved to the US. Started flipping houses. Was not using my marketing degree at all for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Now that I'm like an agent and stuff, like it's actually more useful.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
Still not used. Yeah. I was political science.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, when I came out of school, I was like, I kind of want to be like a politician or like something working with Congress. And then I actually got my degree and I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. Like, going into politics after I actually graduated from political science, I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into real estate. Real estate's like a misfit kind of
It does
job.
it collects us for sure.
It's like, oh,
It
you
does.
didn't find something out of college? Well, there's always this. And
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah.
And I think that is part of the reason that real estate gets a bad name.
That is true.
Is because people see it as an easy route
yeah,
and it's not.
I knew this guy who graduated from college with a real estate degree. And he's always like, everybody in my profession is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, they are. Yes.
No, I
Yes.
mean, they are.
I mean, most people who get a degree in real estate really should be in commercial, most likely.
Yeah.
So that's where the degrees go. If you get a degree and you're in residential, you're overqualified, pal.
Yeah.
But I do, and Texas has, out of all of the states, has some of the more rigorous licensing. Mm-hmm. But it should be more. It should
Yeah.
be more, and
I didn't know we had some of the more rigorous one. I didn't know
we
that.
actually do. Florida's like, can you throw a piece of paper? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
real estate license.
Oh, shit. I think the test is like, what is it, like 72 hours or some?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a pretty solid
It's
chunk.
pretty solid. It's pretty solid,
Yeah.
but it should be more.
Yeah.
I think that it should be more,
Mm-hmm.
and that mentorship should be, if not required, more people should be mentored.
More people. Yeah.
Because if you're someone who just got your real estate degree, real estate license, you don't know jack shit. Honestly, like, yeah, sure, you can pass the test, but like, you really don't know very much at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's really important to have people that can show you
Yeah.
what you actually have to do. Because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, there's the nuts and bolts, right? But real estate's people, and you have to deal with people, and you have to deal with people's emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And most people aren't cut out for that. And most people are really poor communicators.
Yeah.
And if you're a poor communicator, you're going to have a bad time, and people are going to be like, whoa, my real estate, he didn't know what I wanted, or he didn't do this, or, it's you actually have to be able to build a connection with somebody. And I will say this too.
How do you do it? Where do you meet people? Do you get leads, or like do you try to do it organic?
Organically. Yeah. I mean, mostly like referral based, through social media, that sort of thing is the best. But then also, like, people come into my open house and start a conversation. And
Yeah,
talk
that's
to
a
them,
good one.
But no, I have quite a rigorous process when I sit someone down. They're like, I want to find a house. So we'll go and actually like sit down and talk for several hours because it's a really massive decision. And I think that some people are like really flippant and like, oh, I just want to see this house. Okay, great. Let me, and you don't really, you have to understand like what is your position, both financial and emotional, and then what are you actually looking for?
Right.
And I think that most consumers don't actually know what they're looking for. You need to be able to ask the probing questions for them to think about it and be like, I mean, school district's really important to me.
Right.
And like if they were just looking on Zillow, like maybe they didn't think about the school district.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but that happens frequently.
Oh, for sure. For sure. What do you think about this administration and its impact on real estate right now? Because initially, to get you going, like I even posted something online and I was like, I think Trump's going to suck for real estate because I thought he was going to be very like push the stocks higher, push things higher, get the stock market feeling good. And now it seems like the opposite's happening.
Potentially.
Which could help.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're in very muddy waters right now, and he's obviously like stirred up a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be really difficult to tell what's going to happen. But a lot of what he's done with the tariff stuff is inflationary.
Yeah.
And also has the potential to drive rates down.
Yeah.
And inflation generally is good for real estate because it pushes asset prices higher.
Right.
And pushing rates down is generally good for real estate.
Not necessarily for people who are buying, like first-time buyers.
Oh, no. If you're buying, it's
right
going to be tougher.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, yeah, if you own real estate, probably better.
Yeah.
If you're trying to buy real estate, maybe tougher.
Right. See, that's the thing. And I'm always focused on like, I mean, the rich get richer. That's always going to happen,
Sure.
I feel like.
Yes.
But to me, I'm always like, how can we get more people in the door? Because, like 2020, it was a fucking free-for-all. Like people were buying real estate like crazy.
Yeah.
And now it seems almost impossible to like a new buyer. So it's like with Trump doing what he's doing now, it seems to me like there was a creak in the door that's like, holy shit, rates might come down. That could be good for people getting their foot in the door.
It could be. But I think, and what we've currently seen, at least in Austin, is that as rates come down, people are flooding back to the market. Like there seems to be like a wall where like people are pushing up against the wall, but they're like, oh, it's not the right time. And then the rates come down and then it's like a new wave of people are like, okay, there's a good time now. And so it's like pushing forward into that. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't think 2020 is coming back right now because it's like almost impossible to recreate the scenario again.
Yeah.
But I think that there is potential for lower rates to introduce more and more people to the market.
Yeah.
Which is great, which is fantastic. But it's certainly not going to be like a 2020 again, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen either.
No.
But a boy can dream.
Can't we all? Yeah, no.
But I don't know. I'm always thinking like, man, I hate seeing people who just feel like they missed the boat. That's like the biggest thing for me.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is coming from my unique perspective, but I think that, buying and renovating a house is a fantastic way of adding equity to a home and can be a way to get your foot in the door. Like it's bootstrapping 100%.
Yeah,
and it's not easy.
That's the thing is like if you're a brand new couple, you're 25 years old, let's say you even have a fucking baby on the way.
Yep.
And it's like you could buy a home and you can renovate it and you can get going, but that doesn't seem entirely practical for that person. For me, I would recommend they should go to a new build, right? That's what I would tell them.
Well, if you can, yeah, and there are benefits to a new build, 100%, especially for like a young couple with a baby.
Yeah,
hell yeah, go to a new build. Safe, it's gonna be good,
and the lender's gonna give you everything you've ever wanted.
The lender's gonna give you everything.
Yeah,
negotiate a whole bunch of builder incentives.
Yeah,
if you're a dink, I mean,
Dual income, no kids.
Yeah, sorry, dual income, no kids.
Dink is crazy to me because it always sounds like a slur of some kind. I'm like, yo,
you fucking dinks.
yeah, you dink.
But and I'm not encouraging anybody to go, buy something that's like a terrible rip down.
Right.
But if you can buy something under market value and you can paint the walls, change out the kitchen countertops, replace some floors, none of this stuff is rocket science.
Yeah.
And you can add equity through that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
dude, dinks.
And that's what people used to do. Like in the
For
golden
sure.
age of like 70s and 80s, everyone could own a home. Most people weren't buying brand new homes, and most people weren't buying, like flipped homes. People were buying family homes and putting their own spin
that true?
on it. Yeah. Yeah. People used to be a hell of a lot more handy than they are now.
That's very
But
true.
it used to be much more common that people would, just move in and do some renovations and make it their own. Like no one's
Yeah, that's a good point.
buying a super fresh bill. But people were more handy. But I also encourage everyone should be more handy. Everyone should understand how their home works more than they do.
Man, I'm so not handy. I'm so not handy. It's crazy, man. I feel kind of bad sometimes about how unhandy. That's why I bought a Tesla, because I was like, I can't. I open a trunk, or not a trunk. I open the hood of a car, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on in here. So,
One of the key defining factors of my life is that people should know more about how things around them work. Because
did your dad teach you?
No, not entirely. Dad has some handiness in him, but he's not like a car dude. He's not a really house dude.
No.
No.
So you just kind of found it out yourself.
It's kind of
Who were those people that helped you before? Was it those people? The people that helped you?
Kinnessy and Sam. So that's my sister and her husband.
Right.
But not really. I mean, honestly, DIY is kind of like part of New Zealand culture.
Interesting.
Because we're traditionally a farmer culture, and if you're on a farm, you need to fix something, you fix it. You don't hire someone from the city to come out and fix it.
Right.
If you need to build a fence, you build a fence. You figure it out.
Yeah.
And none of it's super rocket science. It's just like YouTube, baby.
Just do it. Yeah.
YouTube, baby.
It's interesting how we like to say that America is kind of a do-it-yourself culture, but we're really not. Our culture is just like make enough money to get someone else to do it. Yeah.
Which functionally works, and from an economic perspective, grows the economy.
It does. It actually is a thing. And it also causes innovation, because it always is telling you just make more money to make something or hire someone to do the shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think self-sufficiency is important. And I think that I'm not telling you have to build a house, but I'm just saying, like, if you drill a hole in your wall and you hit a water pipe, do you know how to turn off your main water line? No. So you could turn a small issue into a $10,000 problem in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you put a nail in the wrong place.
Yeah.
How hard is it to learn?
Yeah.
Not very hard. You just go out
not.
and it's a YouTube thing. Learn it. Go buy the key. Boom.
And that honestly might be why the 70s culture has gone away, is because we always are like, well, I am 20 feet from a device where I can look something up in an instant. You know what I mean? Like the other day, I had an issue with my sink. It was leaking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, I don't know what to do. And I was thinking of calling a plumber because, American. But then I was like, you know what? I'm a man.
Hell yeah.
And I went on YouTube and I looked up a bunch of clips on like how to fix a sink, and I found the problem, and I was able to do it myself. And I was already texting with the plumber, and he was talking about $200-300.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I just did this myself.
You can't get a plumber out for your house for less than $150 these days.
Oh, yeah.
They're just $150 just to walk in your door.
Yeah, yeah. Because they have to make a living too. So, I mean, I get that. But
They do.
It better be a big damn problem that you have with your plumbing.
Yeah.
Because I did eventually have to hire a plumber for a different issue, and I tried to do it myself, and I was like, "This, I'm gonna ruin the whole sink." I was like, "I gotta get a professional."
Well, it's important to know when to call a professional.
Yeah.
But I would encourage you to like try it yourself.
I mean, the problem was literally like get in there with a wrench, rip the pipe out, like open it, and it was a tight area. I didn't have the right tool. And eventually I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to throw in the towel.
And here's the thing. Even if you weren't successful,
yeah.
and even if you don't realize it, you learned something. You
True.
learned something about how your sink works.
Yeah.
And you may be in a better position to fix something.
I know
in the
that
future.
sink, dude. Like the back of my hand, man.
Yeah. But I do think it's important for people to know. I mean, you don't have to be a master plumber or a master electrician, but
Yeah.
you know, can you rewire an outlet? It's
Oh.
simple. It's super simple.
Really? So the
Most people
electrician is where I'm definitely out. Yeah, so you know a lot, but you're flipping houses
I
again.
flip houses,
So-
and at the end of the, and
It's
the,
my job.
well, the first like 8 or 9 houses we did,
Yeah.
we did all the work,
Really?
everything.
So you didn't hire nobody.
I mean, we had a contractor, Nick, who was fantastic,
Yeah.
and he was in, but it was just like usually just him,
Cool.
and he would like teach us how to do something, and then we would do it with Nick.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's the key is like that's bootstrapping, getting hands on,
Yeah.
doing the work, putting in sweat equity to it. You learn a lot, you make more money. Yeah, it's slower. But,
You make
but
more money is the
but
big one.
But we had no money. We didn't
Right.
have any money to hire people.
Right.
If we'd hired people to do the work on that first flip, we would have made like $5 probably.
But you had the skills.
Well, we learned the skills.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing is that we didn't. I didn't. I was just a dumb 21-year-old.
If you were doing it today, right now, did you still do a lot of the work, like hands-on yourself?
No.
Not even a little? But if
I'll take on passion projects. Like on my last flip, I built some built-in bookshelves.
Oh, that's cool.
I did like oak bookshelves.
You're a carpenter.
Well, you do. I know shit.
Like Jesus.
Like Jesus was. But yeah, I'll take on passion projects every now and then.
Yeah.
But only because like the quotes we got back for that was stupid, and I was like, it's like $500 worth of wood. It's not a $4,000 job.
Oh, and you were like, let me do
I can
this.
do this.
Hand me a saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So
Do you own your home?
yeah, we have a home at East Park.
Easton Park. Oh, nice.
just on the road. Yeah.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. So this wasn't even a hike.
Yeah, but yeah, I have a home in San Antonio and several rental homes as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So do you do it in your garage?
Well, I did that at the flip.
Oh, you just do
Yeah,
it
I
there.
just brought the tools there and just rip it in the garage. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
That is good.
But yeah. So these days, no, I don't do all the work. I specifically buy deals with enough fat to pay someone else to do the work.
Yeah.
And so, but I would encourage someone if you are flipping your own home or flipping your first home, yeah, you should be on site every day, and you should see, even if you're not actively doing the work, like you should be seeing how people do the work, because you know some of the quotes and some of the bids you get back on contracting
This is a
is
good point.
stupid.
That's a good point. And you can
Insane.
at least
And-
see like what their work is worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And at the end of the day, contractors take advantage of people that don't have knowledge. And if you have even a lick of knowledge, you will realize that some of the pricing is just stupid.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, okay, well, you're not worth dealing with.
But you'll be able to read it because you were there.
But yeah, but if you do the work, or if you watch someone do the work, you're like,
Right.
okay, you know, like this is what it takes. This is how difficult it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of contracting work, not high skill. There is skill and it takes time, but it's not high skill.
Right, right.
Painting a room, there's technique, but it can be learnt from YouTube, not high skill.
Mm-hmm.
Changing out an outlet, not high skill.
Mm-hmm.
Literally like 3 screws in the back of that.
But I think people honestly get intimidated by it.
They do.
Even the simplest thing, they're like, "Oh, I don't know."
It's like learning anything. People
Yeah.
get intimidated. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and it's hands on. So yeah, no, of course people will get intimidated by it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
about pushing through that and learning something new that's important and will serve you in the future.
That's good.
Because you know, most people who do their first flip, and I've watched someone, I actually know someone that did one this year, doing their first flip, they just accepted the first bid they got back from a contractor.
Oof.
Stupid, dude. Stupid.
But now you have a guy that you're like, that's my homie. Like whenever you're doing this.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing is about building relationships
Right.
with your contractors.
Yeah.
Because
And your lender. You said you had a lender that you're like, that's also yeah.
Yeah. It is about building those relationships.
Right.
But it's also about, it's about building them and then testing them as well. Is that like, okay, so like you're doing my windows for this much and you're my window guy and you're great. But if I got another quote from another window guy, like, are you still competitive or am I just accepting your price because I've worked with you for like 4 or 5 houses?
Exactly.
And sometimes you'll realize, actually, he's kind of fucking me right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, my prices keep going up, blah, 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 blah. And then you realize, like, okay, window prices haven't gone up, like, just your prices have gone up because I'm accepting your quotes.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's about testing them, but I'm a very firm believer in building, like, the personal relationship.
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to give feedback to your contractor. And I think a lot of people accept the contractor's work and it's like, my contractor sucked, dude. All his finished quality was bad. Most of the time, you as the person need to A, keep an eye on it, but B is like push back on it.
Yeah.
But people don't because they're afraid of it. They're afraid of like confrontation.
The confrontation.
And some contractors can be difficult to deal with.
That's true.
Very much. So it's about building that relationship. So you can have an honest conversation and be like, look, dude, tile work, not very good.
Not the best.
And we need to fix that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's important to be able to, especially when you're flipping homes, to be able to hold yourself to a high standard, which means holding your contractors to a high standard.
Yeah. That's good. And you're always kind of testing them and keeping them on their toes. You know what I mean? Because you don't want them to get too comfortable with you and then they're like, this guy's going to keep coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
about that. And I think that's any business relationship.
And then on the lender thing too, like for the lender one, I mean, especially with flips, after a while they know that you are successful and that you're just gonna be able to do this and make profit every time.
They do, but funny you should say that is that like our lender on our last deal kind of fucked us a little bit.
Oh.
Because like we obviously pull comps and like what's the after repair value? What do I think this house could be worth when I finish it? I pulled 4 really solid comps between 825 and 925. The lender came back a day before closing. This was a quick close, so it was like a 9-day close, I think. Lender came back the day before closing and said, actually, I think your ARV is in the 670 range.
Oh.
And pulled up some like random bullshit comps from a different neighborhood. And we were like, hey, look, here's my comps. Did you look at these? And they were like, yeah, we looked at them, but we don't actually think they're relevant. Day before close, like there's no time to figure it out. So they moved from having a 90-10 LTV to an 80-20, which means that like on the spot, we had to show up to closing with an extra like, I don't know, 30 grand. We just had to like materialize 30 grand out of.
Why do you think they did that?
I think that they are bearish on the economy, and I think they're bearish on markets, and I think they're protecting themselves.
Ooh.
Because yes, those houses could be comps, but there are good reasons why they're not the best comps. Because, a comp is always on a scale from like, this is the exact same house next door that sold for this much. That is a A-class comp. Apples to apples, baby. And then there is like, well, this is a house that's quite a bit smaller and has 1 less bedroom and is the neighborhood over but has similar finishes to what we're expecting. That's like apples to oranges.
Right.
I think they were picking some like apples to mangoes from like the neighborhood over that weren't very well done.
Just because they're getting some heat from up top about where the market's going and what
and I think they're just trying to protect themselves.
And they're just trying to get more equity and everything.
Yes.
Dang.
So
how long ago was that?
Oh, last month? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, so that
3
was
weeks ago.
that was still within the tariff range.
Well, yeah. And I think like all of that was like rumbling on the horizon and Trump had, I think literally that week, he had like been like, I'm doing Canadian tariffs, and then he pulled it like the day before.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm doing Mexico tariffs, and he pulled it the day before.
Yeah.
And it was like literally in that week. And
Yeah.
I think that they were just like, actually, I don't want to have a high risk asset right now.
Yeah, the tariff thing is like, I don't know what to think of it because on one side, I do understand what he's talking about with the whole, it's a negotiation tactic. It's a
Yes.
way of negotiating. It's a way of getting what we want from these other countries. Okay. But on the other side, the negative is they just put a tariff right back on us. It increases the prices of everything we have.
It does.
So it's like, what is this? Like, yeah, it probably helps the deficit, but I mean, to take that huge risk.
Well, and I love being an armchair economist because it's fun to. And I have poker tonight with some boys, and like the poker chat has just been tariff talk for the last 3 days.
Oh, really? That's badass. You guys play Hold'em?
Yeah, it takes a lot.
Dude, I'm trying to
come for a game one time.
Dude, I would love to because I love Hold'em. But go, continue.
But yeah, so anyway, here's my take. Here's the hot take. That doing the tariffs on a single country at a time works.
Yeah.
It was shown in the 2017 when Trump did it with China. Yeah, it was a little rocky. But he put tariffs on them. He gave them very clear instructions. This is what I want from you. I'm going to do this. They worked out a deal. They negotiated it. It wasn't perfect. It was a little bit bumpy. Could have been executed slightly better with a little bit better, but it was fine. He got something out of it.
You don't hear a lot about the impact of that tariff, though. So when Biden come, because I don't actually know, when Biden came in, did he remove that tariff, or does that still exist?
He readjusted it, but China had already, I think, readjusted their policies, and they'd worked. It had
so it wasn't a situation of like Trump put a tariff and then Biden just removed it. It was
I think that they'd worked some stuff out before that.
Okay, that's good.
Wasn't perfect.
Right. So then now he's going pro and he's doing it to everybody.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is it doesn't work with everybody because that's my alarm.
Yeah.
But let me finish this.
Okay.
It doesn't work with everybody because it's like a sniper with one person. Mm-hmm. But if you're trying to bully every other person, as in every other country, you just do blanket tariffs and you don't give everybody clear messaging about exactly what I want. It's like, hey, I want a better deal, but it's like you're not giving them clear messaging. It's a blanket across every other country. It's a blanket across every industry and every sector.
Yeah.
It's like you're not being clear and concise. You are not going to renegotiate 164 deals. They're just going to deal with each other. They're just going to be like, well, the US is being fucking annoying right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go deal with Canada. And
because you didn't have that interpersonal communication that you did with China the first time.
You didn't have that super direct communication.
Yeah.
And,
that's a good point.
And I think that's what's missing is like, yeah, sure, you can bully people, which is what the US is trying to do.
Yeah.
Bully them for a better deal. That's fine. And it may be necessary. Like I agree that some trade deficit is not ideal and that getting it better back to a more even playing field is good.
Right.
And I do agree that some of these countries have tariffs on us and we don't have tariffs on them. And it's like, well, how's that working? But that being said, if you're pissing on everybody, they're just going to go hang out with each other and just leave you to piss in the corner.
And that's what's going on with the BRICS too. Like there's a whole BRIC conversation.
And other people are already trying to move away from the US dollar. And if we show ourselves to be an unreliable world superpower, people are going to pick a different world superpower.
True. And then the conversation becomes, is that more important than fixing the deficit, which is what he's trying to trying to do.
If I was Trump for a day, I would focus on the countries that have the largest deficits and negotiate them one-on-one, one at a time. Bully them one at a time
instead of the shotgun approach.
Instead of the shotgun approach, I just don't think that has clear messaging on it, and I think that especially and here's the thing, I 100% agree. National security risk, and the secretary was talking about it today. The U.S. in COVID realized that hey, we don't manufacture our own medicine, we don't manufacture our own chips, we don't manufacture our own ships and submarines. That's really important shit.
Yeah.
And if it came to a global conflict, you want to be able to make those things.
Right.
So I get it.
Right.
But I just think that the way he's gone about it is just very messy, and I don't think it's going to get the return that he wants. Actually, I don't know what return he wants. The return he says he wants. And I also think that because, Biden put in the CHIPS Act, which was meant to bring manufacturing of chips and other like high-end manufacturing back to the US.
Yeah.
And it worked. Fucking Samsung's got a plant 45 minutes up the road here.
Yeah, my mom teaches Pilates there.
One of the largest in the world.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah, yeah.
And and that's the carrot. And so Biden was like carrot, and Trump's doing the stick, but he's trying to stick too many people, I think, at once,
He's biting off more than he can
across
chew.
too many sectors.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we taxing French champagne imports? No one else can import champagne because it's literally from Champagne. It's like,
Right.
what's the point of tariffing that? You're just hurting the U.S. consumer.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
Yeah.
That's good.
Anyway, that's my armchair economist.
No, yeah, you nailed that. I thought that was great. We'll clip that. But I know you have to go. So
Yeah, I
we'll-
do.
We'll
I have
call
an
it.
open house.
But all right. Till next time.
Yeah, cheers.